I have put around 1,000 rounds through a Walther PDP full-size 4-inch pistol. This thing is amazing. Accuracy, no complaints, on point, reliability, durability, zero malfunctions so far. One ammo related malfunction, hard primer, put it back in the mag, touched it off, it went down range. No issues there. This pistol is running. It has not been cleaned. It is just oiled. I've just kept it lubed up with gunfighter gun oil, and it is running like a tank. I am beyond impressed. Now, I have a lot of friends who are shooting these. Scott Jedilinski was kind enough to, let me drop out the mag here. No ammo, right? No ammo. And I don't know if you guys can see that, but yeah, we are clear, right? Scott Jedilinski was kind enough to send me one of his recoil rods with a lighter recoil spring, which is my preference. That has been the only thing that I've done to this pistol. I've done nothing. The trigger is probably, I would say it is the best polymer gun trigger I have felt to date. Now, prior to this, I would have told you the APX, if I'm recalling that correctly, the Beretta polymer pistol. I shot one of those. Man, this is going back some time because William April was still with us during a class that I taught with him in Ohio, and a Beretta rep was there, and he had an APX, and I shot probably 700, 800 rounds to that pistol over the course of 3 days. And that trigger, I thought, man, that's amazing. Out of the box, incredible trigger. This beats it. And I've heard this from a number of people that the Walther, whatever they've done with the trigger on their polymer pistols, they have solved that puzzle. This is really good. Highly recommend this. It has ambidextrous controls, so I can send the slide forward from either side of the pistol. The mag release is large, oversized, and very easy to reach. I don't have to shift my hand at all. Now, my hands are a little bigger. I wear a extra large size glove. I don't think my hands are giant. I would say they're comparable to most males, so I don't really have to do a whole lot to get to that. Just drops right out that way. However, if you needed to, you could come up here, catch it with your offside thumb, just like any other pistol, but that's beside the point. Now, there are front cocking serrations, makes it really easy for manipulations, rear cocking serrations. Obviously with the Optic on there, you don't really need the rear cocking serrations because you have a pretty good gripping surface right there in the form of the Optic. The sights that came on the pistol were your standard, I don't want to keep saying Glock because it's Walther, but your standard Glock, like dovetail protector sights, you're just going to get rid of them. They're some sort of polymer. I don't really care for them. I don't care about them either, because here's the cool thing. Walther has made these pistols able to accept Glock sights. So if you have a Glock 17 or 34, one of the 9mm Glocks, words are hard today, then you could just pop one of those in there. I, however, did not, because I got this C&H Precision Optic that mounts directly to the Gen 2 PHP slide. So it is designed to mount direct, which it did in a phenomenal way. You can see there's no light, there's no gap. This thing is just, it sets right in perfect. C&H has nailed it with this thing. But let me turn to the side a little bit here. Don't know if you can see that or not, but there is a C8 in the back of the C&H Precision. There is a notch, so you could use that. And I tested it a little bit. It does hit point of aim to point of impact with the factory front sight. For now, I'm just going to leave that factory front sight on there. I'm not a fan of sights that are taking up the window, so I want to be able to get on that window. I want to see everything there is to see, looking through that window, treating it like a viewfinder, and I don't want sights that are sticking up like this, obscuring my view. So I want to be able to just focus 100% on the target, see the sight. Now, cool thing, well, a few more things about the Walther. Accuracy was phenomenal. The accuracy was, man, it was really good. So I want to say, now again, this is me being the weak link in the chain of fire there, in the firing cycle was me. I was the weak link, but we sighted in originally at 12 yards, which gives me point of aim, point of impact at 25. Sighted in, and 3 rounds right on top of each other. You could cover it with a quarter And then out to 25, it opened up a little bit. Again, my fault. Opened up a little bit, but it was still, it was less than a fist size group. It was definitely, it would be, I don't want to say all X's on a B8, but pretty darn close if I could have done my job better. But it was one of those things. I am a big fan, and I will be carrying this Walther for the foreseeable future. So I don't see any reason not to. I will pick up another one. I want to get a 5-inch model. So I want to get so this is the 4-inch. I believe there's a 4 1/4 and a 5-inch. So I want to pick up those two just so I can play around with them. There's also the compact version. I want to try that out. So I'm going to be picking up each of those models and burning them up over the next year. I will be using the Walthers. I'll be running them. One of the cool things is that I'm getting 18 rounds. So 18 rounds, so 19 rounds on board the pistol in a 4-inch slide. And it's for appendix carry, that makes it way more comfortable. The stippling, I don't know if you guys can see the stippling at all, but the stippling on these things is just phenomenal. It's grippy. I have no issues with the pistol sliding around. I usually don't, to be honest, so be clear on that. But even holding it loose as possible, just to experiment to see malfunctions, right? Sometimes I get students, and I don't want to recommend something that you have to gorilla grip. It's the only way that pistol will run. A few demos where I just hold it like this and shoot, and it ran. And I have a lot of confidence in this pistol. Reliable, durable, shootable, super accurate, highly recommend. Now, the Optic, let's get into that. It's by C&H Precision. It's designed to be mounted straight to the slide, no plate. That gives me a little bit lower profile, which isn't a big deal. I mean, most plates are what, 1/8 inch, if they are that much. So it's not that big of a deal. And if you were shooting optics back in the early days of red dots on pistols, you had to use something that basically you had to push it into the dovetail, the plate, and then you mounted it on that. It's not that big a deal compared to what we've had to do, right? But the cool thing about this is I'm out here in Boise, out in the desert, shooting on the range there, and the sun is bright. It's that white. There's a lot of reflection and sun coming over, and easy to see the optic, easy to see the red dot. I will put some pictures up in here so you guys can see the options that are available to you. You have the dot, you have the circle with the dot, and then you can have just the circle. And it's very easy to switch between those three. The circle and the dot are very similar to what you would see in an EOTech. If you've shot one of those or used one of those, then you know what I'm talking about. But I will put pictures up so you could kind of see. So easy to switch between those. You just hold down the up arrow and it will switch between dot to circle dot to just the circle. Now, the circle was noticeably brighter, or the dot, I'm sorry, the dot by itself was noticeably brighter. I did have some issues with the dot and the circle together becoming like blurry, but I think that's my vision because when other people shot it, they didn't see that. I'm gonna chalk that up to, again, faulty interface between shooter and pistol, right? I was the problem there. Now, here's what's cool. The circle by itself, that was shootable, man. The circle by itself helped people who aren't dot shooters, who aren't used to target focus, because they basically look through the circle at the target, put the circle around the target. So they're basically framing like a picture almost, or like a camera. I am really gonna play around with that and see. I noticed for myself, much faster on plates, much faster on everything, basically. Even headshots at a decent distance, getting up into the small A-zone box on a USPSA target, I was able to really get after it because I am, again, it's 100% target focus, but I'm seeing my target area that I'm intently looking at, I'm seeing it framed by the circle. It's really cool. If you have a chance, highly recommend you play around with it. This was inexpensive. I want to say it was just over 300 bucks for an optic. That's not too bad. And it's performing very well. Again, 1,000 rounds. And if you know me, if you've seen me shoot, or you've seen the videos where I shoot, I like to go fast. I like to burn it up. and I stay on it, magazine after magazine after magazine. I don't like to take breaks. I don't like to
want to fire more than one round.
Jibber jabber. I like to just shoot because that's where I'm going to gather all the data I need to improve myself as a shooter.
On it and drive it hard.
Particularly running a new red dot and playing with the different settings. This dot took a lot of abuse in a short amount of time over the last few days, and it has stood up well. Highly recommend. So that's it for now, guys. I'll get some videos up of me shooting this pistol. You can see it shoots extremely flat. So easy to run this gun. If you've shot a Glock or any type of polymer pistol over the last, since the 80s, since polymer's been a thing, then you will really appreciate the Walther. One of the critiques is always the high bore line, and some things just kind of need to go away. But if you know how to shoot, you know how to index point, drive the gun, then, or grip point and drive the gun, then all that stuff's a non-issue. It's just stuff people talk about to hear themselves talking. Excellent pistol, excellent optic, highly recommend it. Get out there, get some. And if you've shot a Walther, if you have time on the Walther, I'd love to hear about it. I am continuing to learn more and more about these pistols as I run them, as I have fun with them. Man, superb, superb piece of machinery. Highly recommend it.